record as well on the audio front, and we are live. Action.
Hey, pick 'em pop, big gun Brian Petrie, giving out the lot. One is mortal, you know it won't miss. Gonna take a shot, dog lot. That's the underdog. Yeah, they in the hunt. Send them home, that's KO or submission. Yeah, somebody done. Slime ball, yeah, that's the parlay. We gon' make it known. Pick 'em pop from MMA tapes. Yeah, let's get it going.
All right, YouTube worlds. We're so sorry. I had the whole thing set up. I just spent $50 to get back on StreamYard. Bare bones operation, but we need the content. I got my boys with me. This needs to happen today. Woo! All right, we're here, babe. What's up, chat? Sorry, we had a nice little chat going.
Take two.
Trindaddy's in the house. Trindaddy. Take two. This is take two. God damn it, take two. Yeah, we'll keep with the pink. I had a pink setup. We'll keep a little pink there, Miami style. All right, boys. So where we left off, I gave this card an 8.4. You both gave it, and we were on Slam Page. Anyway, not to take up too much. I'm gonna go underdog here. I'm gonna go Slam Page. I don't know what I'm getting from her. I think she's gonna do okay. I don't know much about this other girl. And when you got a woman fight starting the night off, you want to hit that dog money. You can hit the dog money on the ladies. So let's go, ladies. Slam Page plus 210. That's my play. Timbo, what you got?
I gotta go opposite of here. I gotta go opposite of you here, brother.
All right, brother.
First and foremost, the champ.
Dust it off. Dust it off. He's back.
See, you can go put that fake belt somewhere else, bud. You can go put that fake belt somewhere else, bud.
I think Christian. There he goes.
Real champ. Take that
John
fake
Friend.
champ.
What's up, John Friend? We got Salt the Line. I'll take the blame. It was the first time I was here live. It's all right, Salt the Line. We're happy you're here. It wouldn't be an MMA Take show without some fucking video technical difficulties. You guys been hearing me talk about that for the past fucking month. Ugh. Anyway, the champ is here, Timbo. He has not lost. Let me just, if you guys aren't following our score system or whatever, Timbo has been the champ the most. Way back in the Dev Tejada days, Timbo has won the most straps. Christian is second. I haven't won the belt in fucking, 6 years probably? I don't know when the last time I fucking won one was, but we're bringing it home tonight, baby. I got a feeling. So, Timbo, you're taking Jacqueline over Slam Page, right? I mean, the girl's name is Slam Page, and you're going against that?
I think it's Sam
always
Page.
says Slam Hughes, and you know, I don't know much about Jacqueline Amorum, but honestly, it doesn't really matter because I know enough about Sam Hughes. Samantha Hughes is her name, and that's what we're going to call her until proven otherwise. She did have the one good performance against Elise Reed, where she went full Slam Page, full Slam Hughes, and I was like, okay. But we know who Elise Reed is, and she's not very good either. No. I'm now was she 1-4, I believe, in the UFC. Let's stat check ourselves. 2-4. But Estela Nunes, I'm not giving her any credit for that. I'm not confident in Sam Hughes. If I'm not confident in a minus 240, I'm always going to take that dog money. So give me the dog.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Sam Hughes is the dog.
Oh, no shit. Oops.
Yeah, Sam.
That makes sense then. Give me the favorite. Excuse me.
Give me the favorite.
Minus 240 Amora. I take care. I'm rusty.
Gotcha. It's been a while. The belt shining in front of your eyes. You can't see the screen. I got it. Christian, you got a belt as well. You big fucking show off. That's the real one. What do you like in this female fight here, brother?
That's the enter one.
Yeah, this Amarim, she's a little cutie. I'm not sure if you guys have looked her up.
I have seen some Instagram shots of her. Not too bad.
Not bad. She's got all first round finishes, which is impressive no matter what, especially in any female division. That's an incredible stat. Sam Hughes, tough as nails. I think what the kids say, you're mid when you're just like meh, right? You're just like kind of average. Is that what they mean? I'm guessing.
What,
so,
mid?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So yeah, she's just really mid. So I'm gonna go with the proven finisher. I mean, we don't know if she's gonna gas in the second round, gas in the third. Hughes is tough to finish, but look, if you've got that kind of finishing ability, I don't think, as Brian, you'd say, Slam Page is going to be much of an issue. yeah,
Kristen has
Morum.
correct me on her nickname. Not only does he correct me on surnames now, he has corrected me on nicknames. It is Sam Page. We got King Deuce here. Kristen, who do you got in the Masters, brother? You got a
I don't
Masters
know.
hat on.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a poser. This is my wife's hat.
This guy's a poser. Good now. Bummed up busy at the moment. Be back to rewatch. Cheers to a great show, guys. Thank you, Aaron S., loyal listener. What a good guy. All right, so we're I'm the only one taking a dog there, huh? I'm the only bounty one.
It's
I'm
smart.
The only dog?
Hello? Okay, this is Dog.
Yeah, that's a dog. All right, next up, Steve
Hey, dog.
Garcia, plus 175 versus Xylin Nornabecki, minus 205. Xylin coming off the Derek Minner fight, the fixed fight. Was he in on it? Was he not in on it? I don't think he was. I think he went out there and beat a fucking one-legged man. Kind of up and down in his career. A lot of fucking experience from a guy coming from China. Steve Garcia coming off that molly-whopping of Chase Super. I mean, molly-whopping like Chase Super stole his fucking Game Boy. Woo! Big old time ass beating. What do you like here, Timbo, on the dog shot? You like Stevie Garcia? You like Xylin? What we got?
I can't put too much. I'm not putting a lot of credit on Steve Garcia's versus Chase Hooper. I've never been a Chase Hooper fan, a believer, none of the above. I think he's literally a boy in a man's world in the octagon. Can you pronounce his name again? I want to hear this. Did you murder this name?
Xylin Nornabecki.
It's close.
Yeah.
Close. Would you
CC,
go to
do we have a confirmation on that?
pronunciation school?
Yeah, at the John Anik School of Pronunciation.
Yeah. I go ahead. Tell me how do you pronounce it, Hotshot?
I think it's Xylin Nornabecki.
That's not. That sounds terrible. That doesn't even sound real. It's not a real name.
Let's see what the chat says.
Early play. Jared Morse got a win by submission plus 275. Come on, John Friend. Also love the Yeti Cup color slime forever. Yeah, wife got me this for just being a good dude. You know what I mean? No birthdays needed. Just a good dude. Timbo, need a selection here, man.
Is Nornabecki the favorite? I'm sorry, I missed.
Yeah,
I
minus
missed the lines on this.
205. Yeah, minus 205 favorite. Decent
Last
size
podcast
favorite.
we did, I literally picked all favorites by
Yeah.
accident. This was not planned.
Sure.
But I'm going with Nornabecki here as well. I
Nornabecki.
think Garcia, he doesn't throw much volume. If he doesn't get out of the first round,
Christian, let the man speak.
All
Steve
right.
Garcia.
Jeez.
He's got
Hey,
more
I got
than
his numbers pulled up here, bud. We can review
he
him.
more than doubles Nornabecki's output. So if we're talking output. Well, that's,
You're looking at per minute, which you can't count because it's going off by his-
Steve Garcia landed 21 strikes in a 3-round fight over Luis Pena. Timbo has a good point. There is no fucking volume there. Christian,
no volume.
stat
Champ
guy
says there's no volume.
Champ says
Well,
there's
yeah,
no volume.
so,
Both guys aren't heavy volume guys, but I mean, Steve Garcia is just a bum. All right, go ahead, Christian. We got Nornabecki over on Timbo's side. Yanez could finish. Hold on. I like the GMT play. He catches the dog and finds out something in weird, awkward ways. There ain't no doubt about that. Yanez could finish, but I like the decision number at plus 240. That's a juicy number. Back in action. Derek Myers, back in action, babe. Christian, second fight of the night. Garcia or Nornabecki.
yeah, this is pretty low level. I guess I forget about that Luis Pena fight. He just backpacked it that entire time. It's because he didn't want that smoke though, because Garcia can hurt you. And he can get busy and he can have output. So, I mean, you saw what he did to Chase Hooper. I think I mortal locked Chase Hooper that night. One of my worst bets of all time.
Oh, gosh. I didn't realize you mortal locked him. I might have to kick you off the fucking show, bro. Gee, mortal lock Chase Hooper? What are we
Who's
doing
that?
here?
Who's that 125er? Tim
Elliott?
Tim Means?
Kraus- Yeah, Tim Elliott's wife. I mortal locked her too. Those are my two worst.
Gina
mortal
Mazzani?
locks of all- Yeah.
She just boxed Pearl Gonzalez the other day.
Oh, really?
and won.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
won. She won. Hey, she won.
Yeah. Anyways, I think Nornabecki is really dependent on takedowns. I'm not sure he can get them. It's crazy. He's 2 years younger and has 30 more fights. That is a lot of wear and tear. That's it. Like, out in that China scene. I know the fighters aren't good, but I mean, that's it. If you're fighting that often, your brain's taking a beating. So I think Garcia he can put the hurt on him and stop the takedown. So I'm going to take a dog shot here.
Dog shot for CC. Yeah, I'm going with the Chinese boy here. C. Garcia got smoked by Macheta. a fellow Chinese fighter earlier in his career. Steve Garcia just can't take it. The guy ain't got no chin. He can bully a Chase Hooper. You seen Xylin on Becky? This dude is fucking bricky, right? This dude is bricky, short, bricked up dude, right? Got a great tan on him, great skin tone. I think Steve Garcia is going to look good in the first couple minutes, couple leg kicks, couple strikes. Xylin's he can wrestle a little bit. I think he's going to take him out here. I think this is a good win for Xylin here. Unless he completely comes out flat, which I don't expect him to, because again, he lands on Steve Garcia. He's hurting Steve Garcia, and that's the name of the game. Chat, what's up? What's up, chat? John Meme Machine is a great nickname. Is Big Gun playing big units and action again here? Curious to hear how he likes his new one for Chris. I'll have a full breakdown of that when we get to the fight. Xylin said Machete is his cousin to an interview. Garcia getting the family beatdown. I love it. I love it, Jared. Fucking Chinese beatdown for old Steve Garcia. All right, next up, Trey Ogden, plus 250 versus, excuse me here, Ignacio Bahamondes. He is a minus 335. Fight came together last minute. Trey Ogden had a fight 2 weeks ago, pull out, weight issue, whatever on the other end, not his end. Catch weight at 160. Ignacio was supposed to fight somebody. Can't remember off the top of my name. I do not want to go to Topology because it'll crash all our computers because that's what it does. We'll go Christian first. Right now. We'll go Christian first. Ignacio Bahamondes, who you not know was. Go ahead.
The romance novel. I'll have to show the.
There it is. The Highlands. I mean, listen, my wife, when me and my wife have, we go for it, right? When we have a little, pull the hair contest, she is thinking in her head the entire time, Ignacio Bahamondes. Like that's all she's thinking about. I've never even said the name to her before. She just knows that's the sexiest name in the world. Ignacio Bahamondes. I can't say it enough. Christian, very good fighter. This is an interesting fight here because I do think there is some value on Trey Ogden, but we'll see what you think. Go ahead.
Yeah, I remember Bahamondes coming off the Contender Series, and I was impressed. I kind of like to fake Contender Series guys.
Kinda?
Okay, I almost always fake Contender Series guys.
There we go.
I did not fade Ignacio Bahamondes, and I paid for that against John McDessie. I remember that fight being like close or a split decision though, and I may have even thought that Bahamondes won, but it's a while back.
I just watched that fight. You know what? It was a great fight, and John McDessie has like one knockout his entire career. For whatever reason, though, it might have been a bad wake up because every time he touched Bahamondes, he got dropped. Like Bahamondes, if he didn't get dropped every time he got touched, he probably would have won that fight. It was that good of a fight. But bad wake up, whatever, because he hasn't had that issue since. But go ahead, CC. But that was a great fight. I just rewatched that.
Yeah, I should have rewatched that one. I remember it being good. But anyways, I don't take too much into that. I think Bahamondes would win 9 out of 10 times against McDessie, especially McDessie now. But yeah, I mean, that size difference he has. Ogden's one of the few fighters that's in the UFC that I've seen fight in person, and I was not impressed. He actually got the contract that night. Wasn't too impressed. Ignacio does impress me. I think he's good. I think he's going to whoop ass here. This is slime territory. Slime forever.
Hey, I got here.
Slime forever.
Yeah.
Slime forever. You said it. I didn't say it. Hey, you said it. I didn't say it. Hey, all right. So you're going to Ignacio Bahamondes. Timbo Slice. What we got here, babe?
Ignacio Bahamondes.
Ignacio Bahamondes. God, you said good too.
I'm on Bahamondes here. If anything, that McDessie fight, McDessie's a vet. This dude's been in the UFC for at least 15 years. I remember him in the early, I think UFC 129. I looked up. He was fighting in the organization. That's a vet going against the young bull that's trying to take him out, and split decision. I had scored it for Bahamondes as well, but I had money on him, so green goggles.
Yeah,
but no, I mean, Trey Ogden, I don't know enough about him to honestly. And he had the split decision loss to Jordan Levitt, which in itself is impressive because Jordan Levitt's a hell of a fighter. But he's another low volume guy. Obviously, he's got power as we saw in his last fight, but if he's not able to out grapple you, or land that one big shot, I think it was a knee in his last fight. I'm not too too confident on him either. But give me Bahamondes. I think the UFC's got a lot of stock in this kid, and he's gonna rise here.
Absolutely. Slime forever. Christian said it. This is slime ball candidate. Trey Ogden he got labeled a grappler coming in the UFC, and he doesn't really land at many takedowns. His takedown entries look a little labored. I mean, the Jordan Levin fight, they kind of cancel each other out, and then he threw 40 strikes. Like, you got to pick that up a little bit. And then he come against a up and coming guy, young guy. A lot of people like Daniel Zellhuber, who I liked. I rode Zellhuber, and he shut him down with his striking. He is a stout, powerful guy. So if he lands, I'm sure it is impactful, but he's not like a crazy knockout puncher. Bahamondes comes from kickboxing lineages. He looks great. He's got 100% takedown defense in the UFC right now. Although, has that been testing all that much? Right? But he works out with Bilal Muhammad daily in the camp in Chicago, and Bilal raves about this kid, saying, I mean, cardio on point, everything's on point. He wants to stay on this fight card no matter what. And I love him here. At first, the number threw me off, -335. Dragon the vet. He's a little underappreciated. 1-1 in the UFC. He's taking over that Krause camp in Kansas City. I was like, oh, this is a trap spot. It feels like a rat line. But the more I looked at Bahamondes, I'm like, man, I fucking love this kid. And I think he pieces up Ogden. He's big, he's long, he's and he's improving every day. So yeah, slime ball candidate. We're all on Ignacio Bahamondes, which is a great feeling. Derek Meyer says, you hear about Holland Masvidal? I did. I saw a little bit of video. They got into it backstage. I saw a video of Gilbert Burns asking when they were signing the posters of or Holland, hey, Holland, what do you think about this guy? And he pointed to Masvidal and says, oh, he's a sucker punch douchebag. So I think that might's what started everything, right? Because, whatever. But, they got into it. No punches thrown, though. Ogden's a bum. You'd be crazy to pick him. I agree, Ty. Holland Hor got into it. So the seems Alex misses weight by 8 pounds, and the Gilbert says to jump in and fight Izzy and Holland. Yeah, let's mix the whole show up again. Let's go, James Larkin, my guy. Ignacio is a savage. Watched this guy since he joined. Looks for finishes every time. Tatum Temple. I think Ogden is also cutting weight back-to-back weeks. Good point. Tatum Temple. And then he is at catch weight. There you go. So chat's fired up.
Who was that fought last week or the week before that came off like those back-to-back weight cuts and got smoked?
It was God damn it. It was.
I know. It was just like 2 weeks ago.
I literally I brought it up in my breakdown too. I was like, I don't like this person coming off.
I know. I think they are doing 160 in that fight.
It was Austin Lingo.
Yeah.
Nate. Well, listen, he ran into Nate the Train though, babe. So I mean, what are we doing here?
Yeah, he was going to get smoked.
You're on the tracks with Nate the Train coming. You're fucked. All right, next up, we got Cynthia Calvillo +210 versus Lupitita Godinez -250. Lupi Godinez. I'll lead the dance here. Another female fight here. I like Lupi a lot. I've lost money on her, right? I've been doing this whole thing like I bet shit. I know chicks because I have my boy Jake Ford keeping track of my bets, and I'm like 15-7 or maybe even a little bit better than that on women's fights this year. When I've come out and said terrible at capping women fights. Lupi is one that I really fell for where I'm like, oh, she's really good. And then she fights someone like Luna Carolina and they're like, wait, what the fuck happened? I think Cynthia Calvillo though is checked out though. I think she's just maybe wanting to get a bare knuckle paycheck in her next outing. I think she's done with the UFC at this point. Was a promising up and coming fighter, and now she's really fallen down and hasn't looked good and got finished. Looked a little bit better last time out, but I just see this was almost a green hammer play for me. I think this is going to a decision. That's a crazy big line, so I stayed away from that, but I think that's almost a lock. This fight goes to a decision. Neither of these females are going to finish each other. I like Lupi Godinez to land maybe like 3 takedowns and control the pace, and Cynthia Calvillo just kind of let her do what she wants. And so I'm going to go Lupi here for the dub. Almost a green hammer played, but I pulled back the hammer. Christian, we'll mix it up. What do we think here, babe?
Yeah, I love that you didn't put the green hammer because Lupi Godinez is the second most, probably cost me the second most money of anybody.
Yeah, she's cost me money too.
Yeah. Peter Yan's number 1. She's not. I'm almost sure that she's probably number 2 on that list. But man, I do love her as a fighter. Her style is just great. Her hands seem to be getting a little bit better. She does throw like those big like wrestler overhands. She's like like a guy's wrestle boxer style. Big huge power like into a takedown. She's relentless with the takedowns. She'll probably be a little bit smaller. This is back at 115 also, and Calvillo could barely make 115. So I saw a picture.
I saw a picture of her too, or like a little video where she's like, "Oh, I'm psyched." It was just from the neck up, right? And she might carry a lot of face fat. Trust me, I know. Okay. I mean, when I take this shirt off, I got 6-pack abs. You just wouldn't be able to tell with my face. Her face looked a little swollen for my liking for someone cutting the 15, where I think 125 is a real place. That's a good point.
Yeah. I think I think that definitely favors Loopy because Calvillo has really struggled with the weight. I think Loopy can just grind her out. I think she's going to hit her hard. She'll grind her. You don't want to quit versus Loopy. You saw what she did to like Carnelossi when she got her backed into a corner. And I don't see why she can't do that here. I love Loopy a lot, but I'm so with you on not Slime, not Green Hammer because of what's happened in the past.
It's a money line bet, low money line bet. If we lose, I'll be mad, but it's not, my night's not over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll like parlay her with Ignacio or something. And that'll take it down.
Bahamondes? Yeah, Ignacio Bahamondes. Yeah. Timbo, how do you like this fight, bub?
My bad. I was experiencing technical difficulties, but luckily it wasn't my turn, so we're all good. Never had.
There we go.
But
never
happened. What'd you say this line was?
Loopy is a -250 and Calvillo is a +210.
Man, come on. I'm hoping Loopy was like a fucking -300. So there's two sides of this coin with Calvillo being checked out.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, she's 35. She's on the back nine of her career. Look at Holly Holm. She's fucking 45 years old, still going ham bone. But likely she's on the back nine of her career. It's easy to say she's checking out, or is she passionate? Is she fired up? Is she hungry? Does she know this is her last shot? Whichever side you're confident in, you're going to see either of those. I've been burned. I'm with you, CC. I've been burned on Loopy. I've lost a decent amount of money on straight up plays and parlays. I made her my must-have one week, and I was embarrassed. But with that said, Calvillo does have great takedown defense. Look at 75% takedown defense. Loopy, and she's got a 3-inch reach advantage. Obviously, Luana Carolina had a much bigger reach advantage, but we saw Loopy struggle with her tremendously. It was horrible because she couldn't get her down to the ground. Loopy goes in for the first couple of shots and doesn't get a takedown. I'm not confident in her at all. I think she panics. Calvillo's a vet in there. She hasn't been taken down in over 5 years, and that was by Carla Esparza. Granted, her record is pretty trash since then, but she's fought some decent competition. Still UFC fighters today. I like a little play on Calvillo here. Maybe it's resentment I have towards Loopy, but for the sake of keeping my strap, the real strap, I'll rock with Calvillo here. I don't mind that play. I wish it was a bigger dog, but I like it.
Sometimes you got to rip off that dog Band-Aid. You know what I mean? You got to pull the first trigger on that dog, even if you don't love it. You're like, I got to get it done.
Definitely by decision, though.
Ryan Spann cut weight twice recently as well. He got smoked out. That's another one. This dude knows chicks. I know chicks, man. Play for us big. Oh, okay. Yeah. So we were talking about Nate DeTrain, right? Nate DeTrain fucked up Austin Lingo bad, Hey, Nate DeTrain, baby. That guy is I want him to be my best friend so bad. I just want to be like, Nate, let's just be fucking friends, man. God, I mean, we probably don't even get along. We live different lifestyles. We're from different parts. Well, he's from Tennessee. He's very close to me. But, where he grew up and where I grew up are two different worlds, essentially. But I want to be his best friend. All right, next up, Jeremy Mearscar, GM3, +160. Whenever Jeremy Mearscar, GM3 gets that plus number, everyone comes out against Joe Pyfer. Be like Joe Pyfer. Don't know how he hasn't changed his nickname yet. -190. Timbo, you went last time. We'll let you go first this time. What do we got, babe?
So we saw was Mearscar the first sacrificial lamb to Khamzat? Was that our first showing of Khamzat when he fought Mearscar?
No. That was
John Phillips, I think.
Yeah, it was John Phillips and then Reese McKee, both at 170, or maybe Phillips was at 185, and then Mearscar was at 185 as well. Yeah, because he took Phillips and Reese McKee within like a week, and he cut to 170, which is insane because he was originally at 185. But yeah, he killed him. I mean, Jeremy Mearscar's been dead for a while now. He murdered.
Yeah, he's coming back with a vengeance this weekend. He's gonna put away Joe Pyfer. Yeah, this is I love GM3, man. As we saw,
Yeah.
I feel more confident with him against Joe Pyfer than I do against Bruno Silva. And look what he did to Bruno Silva.
Right.
Guy's got very underrated striking, and obviously he's a fucking submission masterclass. Obviously he's been knocked out a couple times, but a
few times
against the best. Yeah, against the best of the best. So yeah, give me GM3 here. I like him to get a finish. Someone had said it in the chat earlier. He finds a way to get those awkward positions and grab onto a limb, and he's either taking it with him or you're tapping. So give me GM3 here for the dog.
GM3, fuck the world, John Friend.
No, that means
if
for the
Nathan Train
win.
ever needed a heart transplant, doctor said they need to take it from a lion. Let's go, baby. He's got that dog in him, that's for sure. Mercer has to be a dog lock. Ooh, Temple dog lock. She's throwing dog locks out there. Timbo likes GM3. That's back-to-back dogs for my guy. Christian, you feeling doggy here? You feeling froggy? You want to take this dog shot here, but
This is the only fight that I don't have circled on my page because I keep going back and forth. So, look, the way Pyfer fights, I don't think he's like really that good. I don't see the hype, but there is a lot of hype around him, and I'm wondering if I'm just missing something, which happens sometimes. I'm like, this guy's no good, and he is really good. It's just I'm bad at reading talent.
Sure.
So, look, the way he fights kind of reminds me. There's just a lot of jabs, like straight punches. He doesn't throw a whole lot of loopy stuff, and that's really like what Kamzat did to him. I guess it was only one or two punches, but just right through the middle. So I'm like, dang, is Pyfer going to get him that exact same way? Mercer can't really take anybody down. He stinks at it. He's like one of the lowest takedown percentages for a submission ace that I've ever seen.
Right.
Look, his chin has looked a lot better. If he does get on the ground somehow too, he seems to be able to hold people down all right. My biggest concern is that chin still improved enough? Pyfer got subbed by Jonathan Patti. That guy's like a Muay Thai fighter and boxer, and he got choked out by him. That's embarrassing. GM3, I mean, if you're that guy's subbing you, GM3, it doesn't matter how much you've improved. My cousin, who's also like in touch with that Gracie BJJ, she said like he's been training with some of those guys. They all hate him. They said Joe Pyfer's an asshole. So that's some intel. They don't like. They don't really
baseball.
So it's got an attitude problem. So now that I've talked myself into it, I always bet on GM3. So I guess there's no surprise I'm ending on him yet again. Like if he can get this to go a little bit late, he takes anybody into deep water. Even when he's losing, you still don't want to be in that deep water with him. Like Stoltzfus found out. So give me GM3. Fuck it.
Yes, sir.
Fuck it. Well, I'm gonna piss off a lot of the chat because I got this guy behind me. Yeah,
oh, God, you're not doing that.
4-1 on the year, and listen, I'm gonna go ahead and be straight with everyone like I always am. It was tough to find a green hammer spot. I could have given you a -500, something goes to decision, but that's just, you guys know that's not how I fucking do things. So I like Joe Pyfer. I think Joe Pyfer is athletic. I think he's big. I think GM3 is not going to sniff a takedown. I'm curious about the cardio. I know Joe Pyfer is a prick. I've heard he trains a little too hard in the gym. He's at that Philly gym where, he's a little bit of rough. This is what I don't know about Joe Pyfer, right? He goes on the Contender Series. He cries, looks great against Ozzy Diaz, and basically was like, I'm homeless. I need this, right? And then they fly him, and Dana that was a horrible contender, so they only sign him. They fly him out to the fight set next week, right? And he's got a smoke sitting next to him, his girlfriend, right? A smoke. And I'm like, this dude's homeless and he's got this girl with them. Like, did they just start a date? Like, what is going on? There's mystery behind Joe Pyfer. So I didn't just hammer Joe Pyfer by knockout, right? Because that worries me a little bit. GM3, if you're going to get him, you're going to get him in round 1. So mini green hammer, Pyfer knockout round 1. But I'm playing a double chance, Pyfer to win by knockout or Pyfer to win by decision, -160. GM3 looked like dog shit against Krzysztof Jotko. Where was that guy at, right? Looked great against Bruno Silva. So whatever GM3 shows up, that's going to be a problem for this thing. But be like Joe Pyfer, green fucking hammer, Pyfer by knockout or win by decision, -165. That's a multi-unit prop play. And then if you sprinkle or take your little tiny green hammer out, you can go Pyfer by knockout round 1. Because if you're good at getting Meerschaert, it's round fucking 1. Santos and fucking Hanzat, and there was another guy that just escaped my mind. Let me look it up real quick. Someone got him in the round 1 not too long ago. Ian Heinisch. Heinisch is knocking you out round 1. Joe Pyfer can do it as well. The chat disagrees with me. It's not my dog lock. You know what I mean? I ain't even touching that dog. Green hammer play, baby. Let's go. Let's see what the chat.
Somebody in there had a good point. Like Dana doesn't give you right there. Bismo Funyuns 44.
Bismo Funyuns.
It's
not just.
And they gave him Amadovsky. That's right.
Amadovsky was the biggest layup in the world. I mean, listen, I'm not in the business of challenging fighters. I'm 36. I'm out of shape. I got 2 kids, but I could knock the fuck out of Amadovsky. And I challenge that guy to a fight right now. No, that was Tatum. Tatum hates that pick. Lost his mind. People. Jim Street has held up since he comes back. Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
Sorry to interrupt, but a very important question.
Good.
Is there any way to talk you out of saying what you just said?
What did I say? About knocking out Amadovsky?
No. I wholeheartedly believe in that. The green hammer on Joe Pyfer.
No. It's locked
in,
right, dude.
Let
me show you. I got a book here, right? Where I write down the slime ball. I got a little slime ball sticker on it, right?
Nice.
And I'm gonna cover the slime ball because we haven't given that out yet. Pyfer, right there. Okay. It's locked in. It's set in stone. You can't, that's permanent marker. You can't erase that, Timbo. No, listen, you can rip the page out. That's a very good point. You're smarter than me. Listen, it's, again, I didn't love anything in this spot, right? And I could have went safe and played it with all these other bullshit, but I'm like, listen, be like Joe Pyfer, risk the biscuit a little bit. And when I say multi-units, the past 5 green hammers, I've laid 3 units. 3 units, 2 units, 3 units, 2 units, 1.5 units. This week, we're probably looking at 1.5 to 2 units. Bankrolls, okay. I laid a lot on Chris already, but I am a medium confident, even though the chat thinks I'm fucking crazy. All right, we'll move on. Carl Williams, -390. This line has gone up. This line has got steamed. I got these lines yesterday. He's against Chase Sherman, old Mississippi Mean. Chase Sherman, +320. Christian, you are the heavyweight whisperer. So I'm going to let you do the heavyweight battle here.
Man, this is like the lowest of the low level. You want to run through the chat real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. And they're just all saying Brian's the best and his head is really small, really nice proportionate to his body and shit. It's just really cool.
I always thought our chat was smarter than that, but I guess not. So yeah, this is the lowest of the low. Chase Sherman's got a 4-10 record in the UFC. This guy, Carl Williams, beat that fat slob from Penn State. And then who was that?
Jimmy Lawson, bro. Pay a little respect to Jimmy Lawson. God, I don't know why he said his name in a Boston accent, but that's how you say it.
Yeah, and then Lucas Brzeski. Look, he does no matter if that guy is a slob and showed up like he was going to a professional eating contest. Jesus. I mean, he's still a good wrestler. And this guy who's not a wrestler is like a basketball player, took it to him. So you got to put some respect on his name for that. I just haven't been impressed with his overall skill set, just like almost any older guy coming off the Contender Series in the last 2 seasons. There's not much really left out there. They picked the low-hanging fruit pretty clean. So I haven't been super impressed with Williams. I mean, he is athletic because he's not really a heavyweight. Look, I think this fight is probably going to – I don't know if I haven't even looked at the betting lines. I've been so busy this week, but
it's he's in the 400s now. I can tell you that.
No, I don't care about. I don't care about that. I'm going to bet it to go over. I could see this honestly go in the distance because look, this guy Williams isn't really choking anybody out. He's got 1 sub on his record, I believe. Sherman could fight him off. He's absolutely terrible on his back, but Williams just wants to lay on you. So I do like the overs in this fight, especially if they set it at 1.5. But look, this is low level. And if you're going to give a guy with 14 fights of UFC experience, even if he's lost most of them, you're going to give me plus 400 on him. Give me that number. This fight stinks, though.
Oh, man. All right. Timbo, go ahead. Go ahead, bud.
Completely agree with CC on the over over 1.5 is probably a safe bet.
Yeah.
Because both of these, I'm not going to say Carl Williams stinks. Chase Sherman stinks, but he's pretty fucking durable. And when he has gotten finished, I mean, he's gotten his shit kicked in prior to getting finished, at least. So, yeah, I mean, Christian made some really good points. I mean, it's very easy to go with Carl Williams here. He's definitely the more athletic and is the one without the 4-10 record in the UFC. I'm gonna go with fucking Chase. I'm gonna go with Chase Sherman here as well.
There you go, Chase Sherman.
Yeah, man. And the experience, again, like he hangs in there, and he gets his ass beat so much. I mean, he fucking Nate Diaz is a Nick Diaz. You gets his ass beat so much, but he doesn't really slow down. You know, he's still fighting in the third round, and you know, we'll see how. I mean, actually, fuck that. Sorry, I'm going Carl Williams. Apologies.
Whoa!
I just remember Carl Williams' fight. I wasn't too confident in Chase Sherman, but it is a nice number. But no, Carl Williams just kind of showed he can go to the distance in both of his UFC fights, I believe. Granted, they're against stinkers, but Chase Sherman is pretty stinker too. He's just a durable stinker. So give me Carl Williams. I wouldn't. I'm probably not even going to touch this fight except doing the over 1.5, which should be maybe like minus 150. Pretty confident there. So. Jesus Christ, is it?
I know.
They're on to us, man. They're on to us. They're watching the show. Fucking, they just changed that line right after you guys said that. Listen, I got one thing to say to Christian. You wanna bet? Because I like Carl Williams here. I shit all over him, and I picked Bretsky in his last fight. Because Jimmy Lawson was a very good wrestler at Penn State, and Carl Williams destroyed him. 3 takedowns, just beat the shit out of him. 8 takedowns on Bretsky. Explosive athlete this dude is. Didn't throw enough strikes for me. Did get tired. Got a second win, but it has more to do with how bad Chase Sherman is. Now, he's tougher than $2 steak, okay? He's tougher than a Mississippi mudslide on a Monday. You know what I mean? Like, this dude is you can just make those things up if you say it in a country accent.
I love it.
None of them make sense. But if you say it in a country accent, you know, it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you know, he's harder than a stop sign on a highway. Like, it doesn't mean anything. But when you say it, they're like, oh, that's some wisdom, right? No, listen, Chase Sherman stinks, right? And Carl Williams taking his fight on short notice. He's a growing fighter, super athletic. Chase Sherman has no takedown defense. He is tough. He's not going to get finished in there. He gets tired as well. He'll battle back in that third round if Carl Williams completely gasses. But CC's the heavyweight whisperer. And the reason I'm putting my money up is because slime ball candidate number 2 on Carl Williams here.
You know what's this fight? I picked Huggy Bear over Chase Sherman, but I'm picking Chase Sherman over Carl Williams. I don't know how that math works out, but it's strange.
Do you want to bet or what?
No, I would never place a bet on Chase Sherman ever. Listen, under any circumstances.
Smart. And for the people out there as well, I've been getting pretty good. If you're in the MMA Takes betting chat or betting group on DraftKings, you'll see that I've been hitting, not last week or 2 weeks ago, excuse me, I kind of fell short, but the same game parlays, when you add in strikes and takedowns and whatnot, I've been seeing that pretty good. And I have written down here, same game parlay. They don't offer it for every fight, but I like Carl Williams to land over at least 2 takedowns for sure. Plus 2 takedowns is a lock. Over 20 significant strikes, I think, as well. And then you could go like over 1.5 or whatever. You can add that third leg to it. But that's something I'm definitely looking at. Hopefully DK and money line. Right, exactly. So hopefully DK opens that up. All right, next up, we got Michelle Waterson-Gomez. You got to say Gomez now. She's been married for 40 years, but she decides to throw that on there. Plus 140 versus Luana. There it is. Pinheiro minus 165. I'll go. I feel like I haven't gone first in a while. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I think Luna wins here. Listen, Karate Hottie looks to be in amazing shape. She looks ripped up. She looks focused. Her striking is just never good enough for me. She's mixing in grappling, which is great, but you don't want to go to the ground with Luna. Luna can get you off her back. She can get you on top. I think Michelle Waterson has to strike here. Problem is she's severely undersized. They needed to add 105 forever ago to have her fight at atomweight because that's where she was the king outside the UFC, right? She's just a little undersized, which you can't get her striking going. She does look to be in phenomenal shape. I don't see a finish here. The over's the play. I don't think I'll touch money line. Maybe I'll sprinkle Luna by submission because Michelle Waterson did just get choked out a fight or 2 ago, and Luna is pretty sick off her back. So give me Luna Pinheiro minus 165. Not overly confident. Confident in the over, but I'm not overly confident in Pinheiro. that make sense? Timbo, take it, babe.
It does. And you fucking nailed that, for being honest. Over is definitely the play here. Karate
It's
Hottie
like minus
is
300, I think.
Oh yeah,
God.
it's chalky. But
Just
when
to
you
go to
got the
decision?
shekels like me, Christian, you can throw
Yeah.
300, no
A
problem.
bankroll, baby.
And respectfully, Karate Hottie is no longer hot. I just gotta say
Whoa,
that.
hang on. Let me, if I was on my fancy platform that we had to get kicked off of because of the fucking echoes, I could have pulled it up on there, but I'll pull up on my phone.
She's got that weird haircut, but I'm gonna say
she's got a mom haircut, sure. But my buddy at work is obsessed with her, right? And she just posted this on Instagram. Hold on. Is it in focus? Let me get closer.
No, it keeps you in focus because it
there
knows.
Oh, okay. There you go. Sorry, dude. I got a fancy camera. Fuck off.
Yeah, I saw this earlier. She looks fucking ripped as shit.
Yeah,
but
she
good for her.
ugly.
That's not going to help her in takedown defense when she's
all right
getting her back taken. And
so you're taking Pinheiro.
Yeah, I mean, Michelle Waterson at 36 years old isn't going to be any different from the Michelle Waterson we've seen over the last 10 years. Granted, she's fought fucking murderers row in that division. She has fought fucking murderers row. So shout out to her for taking those fights. She hasn't fared very well in them. She throws a lot of volume, but no power to go along with it. And I just think she gets grapple fucked this fight. As you said, she's too. I mean, she doesn't need to be in this division, but unfortunately for her, it's her only option. So yeah, give me Luana here.
I think round 3, not 2. Sherman is durable. Sherman is durable. You're taking Luana Pinheiro. Christian, when you got in this fight here, Bubba.
Bechcaera.
Unfortunately, this is good. This is the closest thing I had, the closest fight where I could say, ain't got no gas in it.
Ain't got no gas in it.
Yeah, there's a pretty good cardio on this card, unfortunately. Pinheiro has shown a questionable gas tank, but has also shown a really good gas tank before. I mean, she's been 3 rounds, and then she absolutely quit versus Randa Marcos because she was about to lose that fight. So we've really seen both from her. She's coming off a knee surgery, and I'm not sure if anybody was paying attention last week. I know I was because I laid a hammer against Casey O'Neill, and Pinheiro is a really explosive fighter like that. And I think 9 months off of a knee surgery, you really saw a lack of explosion in a very similar fighter. Pinheiro really depends on a lot of those judo hip toss, these really like big explosive movements. And honestly, that's really the only way she gets a takedown. And I think that Michelle Waterson's been around long enough. Like you said, she's faced the murderers. She's got one of the best, even if she's lost a lot of those fights. She's been in there with the best. And I don't think she's going to be fooled by that little hip toss that's coming her way. I don't think that Pinheiro is going to have the explosiveness. I've seen her quit in the past, and I'm going to take the smaller but much craftier fighter that is still sometimes winning minutes against still the highest level in today's. She's fought JJ, she's fought Lemos, she's fought Marina Rodriguez. Yep. Give me Waterson-Gomez.
Listen, Christian, that was a great breakdown. I can't argue with that. That's a good dog play right there. Ain't no lie. But I wanted to mention something. Listen, I'm a very observant person, right? For a guy who probably 4 or 5 months ago was like, I don't watch tape, I just do stats, whatever. You're breaking down punches, straight punches with Pyfer. You're doing hip tosses, a judo hip tosses. You're in it, bud. Like you're in it, pal. This is a compliment, by the way. You're doing your homework. I appreciate it. Next fight, this is my heart fight right here. Kelvin Gastelum minus 130 versus Chris Curtis plus 110. This line and the Ponzinibbio line have been moving like crazy this week. Chris is currently at plus 110. He opened as a favorite, went to minus 115, got him at that. Plus 105, got him at that. I have not hammered one plus 120 yet, or plus 110 yet. If it goes to 120, 115, I'm going to get it. I'm gonna go last because I got a whole fucking thing with this. I'm gonna try to. I spoke a little long-winded on Anakin Florian, so I'm gonna try to condense it here. We'll go Timbo.
Give it to us.
We'll go Timbo. Who do you like in this fight? And tell me why.
Oh, this is a good fight. It really is. Definitely think it's going decision. I definitely think it's going to be a stand-up war. I'm not going to say stand-up war. I think it's going to be very patient on both guys' end. I think a lot of folks that aren't familiar with Chris Curtis, which how at this point can you not be? Dude served his time in the UFC and has done very well in the short amount of time he's been in it. But obviously he's been in the game for several years. Taking out any bias.
Mm-hmm.
I got
Hey, pull the Band-Aid off. I'm a big boy. I can take it.
I gotta go Gastelum here, man.
Okay.
And it's I don't Curtis in 2. I don't think Curtis is getting to finish. You're not finishing Kelvin Gastelum.
No.
Kelvin Gastelum doesn't get finished. I know he got heel hooked.
He's never been knocked out.
Manson maybe, but yeah, he
Jackson
doesn't
Manson
get
got him.
knocked out.
Yeah, that was kind of a fluke. Yeah.
I think we're in for a chess match on the feet, and I think Kelvin. Fuck that. Actually, I'm gonna change my mind. I'm going Curtis here, man. I think of Kelvin's recent performances. Like Kelvin's got a shitty record. I don't even have it up in front of me, but like I think of the Whitaker fight. Granted, Whitaker's elite in the middleweight division. And then that picture you showed me, he doesn't look good. He doesn't look good whatsoever.
It looked weird, didn't he? It was a weird thing. He was sitting down, right? Yeah. But it looked like all the muscles in his shoulders and upper arms were like gone. He looked deflated. And I'm like, is he really lean or is he just not in shape? Like, I don't know what's going on here. It's hard to judge from that one photo I sent you guys.
Yeah. I mean, take away the Ian Heinisch fight. I mean, he has nearly been outstruck in 1, 2, 3, 4, all 5 of his last. Oh, he did 89 to 81 on Jerry Cannonier. But Cannonier's not much of a striker either, other than his huge power. I mean, Chris is really technical. I think we're getting good money here on Chris. I think it is definitely a close fight, and the line is right. Maybe you can flip it, but it's going to be about volume and who can land the more shots. But I think it goes to decision. I think it'd be a split decision. I think that's a really good bet as well to take either one of these guys by split decision. Give me Chris, Doug. Give me old Chris. Action man.
Old action man. Christian, we got here, babe.
Can I break it down and then you break it down and then I'll make my choice? Because I haven't made it yet. Or is that against the rules?
I'll just go ahead. I don't do what you want me to break it down. You want to break it down?
No, I'll do it, but then I want you to break it down.
Okay, then I'll do it and then you'll make your choice. Okay.
Yeah. Right. So, yeah, I mean, so much with Gastelum, it depends on what he's going to look like on the scales. He could show up. I guess he's mostly made weight, but sometimes he just shows up like looking like Peter Griffin out there. It's like, man, did you exercise at all or just drink beer and eat like a barbecue? My God, man. The thing is, though, Gastelum can be kind of relentless going for the takedowns. And while Chris he's never been taken down in the UFC. This isn't a jiu-jitsu guy taking you down. This is a guy who's, really is a wrestling based fighter. And I am thinking that he's going to get Chris down. I'm almost sure he'll get him down at least once or twice. Question is, can he get up? And, this will be the best fighter that's ever probably been on top of Chris. So, he's the highest skilled. Him not being able to knock him out gives me a lot of concern because I think Kelvin will put on more of the pace. Chris has a way of losing minutes before he's winning. And I know it's his style and it's really worked for him, but I could see something not exactly like in the same dance that the way the Jack Hermanson fight was, but I could see Gastelum really leading it and Chris not being able to figure out what to do. So that's my concern. I'm just curious what you have to say because this one has me torn.
So you both said beautiful parts, right? I think volume is a key. Now I spoke to Chris. Okay. I've spoken to the man. I always send him a DM saying, hey bro, fight week, war you, whatever, you got this. Because back in the day from his 4th fight, when I met him, his 4th pro fight, I used to literally break down. That's how it really got me into capping was I would break down fight footage of guys he's about to fight. And I go in the gym and I would tell him, oh, this guy does this guy does that. So I've been doing it forever. Now he's got high level coaches. I don't bother him with that stuff, but he picked my brain this week and he told me about how camp's going and everything like that. So you guys make excellent points. Chris tends to get off slow. I don't think Chris, this is obviously get fact check. I don't think he's ever lost a 3rd round. This guy gets so much better when the fight goes on. 3rd round's his round. That's the only round he won in Jack Hermanson fight, right? That's when he gets going. First round is where he got to get fast. He walked the Joaquin Buckley fight. He took a lot of shots, blocked a lot of them, but he was losing a lot of that. He was a little behind, and Kelvin comes out very bouncy and very, very quick in the first round. He's very fast for his size, and I do think he's going to wrestle. Chris got 100% takedown defense in UFC. What plagued him outside the UFC was takedowns. He would get taken down and get wrestled. He has since fixed that, but the one thing about Chris, prior to the fixing the wrestling, he was really hard to hold down. You can get him down, but he would get up. He's been submitted one time his entire career. He's fought high-level guys. One time by Tom Galicchio where he 10-6'd him in the first round, blew his gas tank out, and then got rear naked choke in the second round out in New Jersey a million years ago. The only time he's been submitted. Kelvin's not going to submit him. I don't think Kelvin's very good at holding you down. He took Ian Heinisch down 6 times. That means Ian Heinisch got up 7 times. Do you know what I mean? He's going to take Chris down. If he does, Chris is going to work to his feet. Chris has told me he is butchering people in camp. He thinks Kelvin's going to come out there a lot of leg kicks or whatever. Chris doesn't kick a lot. He's got an answer for that. He's going to answer for the wrestling. He thinks it's going to happen. Chris knows I got to win that first round. I have more fights in this guy. I have fought recently in this guy. He's got the names on his resume. He's got the bigger name. I need to go bully ball him. And I think that's what he's going to do. I think pure boxing, Chris has got him for sure. Kelvin's got a big left hand, but he hasn't had a knockout since Michael Bisping in 2017, right? The Izzy fight, he hurt Izzy, but he hasn't knocked anybody out in a while, and his striking is very limited. He slows down. He's never thrown over 100 strikes in all of his fights, even the 5-rounders. Chris has never been 5 rounds in UFC. He landed 109 over Rodolfo Vieira in the 3-round fight. Chris has the volume. That's what he needs to do. Now, we got to have Chris show up, not to Hermanson, in his head, nervous. Chris seems to be in his spot. He made a video today. Some guy talked shit to him in Florida, saying, hey, you're in the UFC. He goes, yeah, well, I watch all the time. I've never fucking seen you on the TV. People are chirping him. I love that. I love the number. I'm double dipped on him twice. Better believe I'm going to do it 3 times, maybe a 4th time when I get a little excited come fight night. But 100%, he's not finishing Kelvin. This is going to be a decision. Chris by decision is going to be a juicy number. Chris by split decision, or the fight to be settled by split decisions, a great number, because even if Kelvin doesn't throw enough volume, he'll land enough shots and maybe mix in his wrestling enough where some judge goes, he might have did enough. But I am nervous. This is Chris's biggest fight, biggest name. I'm obviously riding with the action man. That's my sermon. CC, where are you going now after I laid it out with you?
Man, I got to ride. He's our guy.
He's our guy. He's our guy.
Ask me, I'm going to go run through a fucking wall for fucking Action Man Curtis.
I spoke to him, and because again, I don't want to bother him or whatever. And then when I spoke to him once, it was Sunday when I spoke to him, I'm like, I know my guy. My guy's ready. Like, he knows. He said this camp's been almost flawless. He's training with everyone was in Vegas because they're getting ready for fights. He's not that extreme couture. So there's so many bodies in there that he's trained with. And the reason he wasn't in the UFC X amount of years ago is because he never really made the trip out there. He wanted to stay in Cincinnati. Moving out to Vegas changed his whole career. And I wish he would have done it sooner, but this is a big fight. I can't wait. I think it's gonna be a great fight. But yeah, goes the decision is definitely a play. Let's see what it is. Round the 1-7 of 8. Bismo Funyuns. Do Gastelum is past his prime, even though he's only 31. I think his game has passed him by. Only with Gastelum is by KO. Very true. Chris takedown defense is superbly underrated. Ian, the crypto show Heinisch. Ooh. Chris threw in a decision. My play, my body, his body work is too good. That's true. Got to touch the body. He's an Ohio guy. Ride with him forever. That's right. Born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio. We're on the action, man. I love it. I am nervous, but I love it. All right, let's go. Main card time. Rosas Jr. minus 225 versus Christian Rodriguez plus 190. Christian, since this guy has your name, I'll let you break down the fight first. Rojas Jr., 18 years old, phenom. I was there in Vegas when he walked out. People fucking love this kid. What's your take on him? What's your take on Rodriguez? Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, you know who doesn't like this guy is Chris Curtis. At least that's the way it looks on Twitter.
Yeah. He took his spot. Took his spot.
Although I said, and I think Chris has realized now, the prelim headliner has by far the most eyeballs on it of every fight of the night. And
I think, what's funny is I talked to him about that. Sorry to cut you off. But it's like when you go to pay-per-view, fighters go, oh, they're paying to see me, right? It's between the fighters. It's a badge of honor going, oh, have you been on pay-per-view yet? Right? It's this weird flex that we all have in our lives. That's a flex for fighters. Like, dude, I was on pay-per-view 3 times. Have you? So I think the flex with fighters is like, yo, you're paying to see me. But I agree with you. He's going to get more eyes on that prelim spot, but it's a weird flex between fighters, dude. They love that. They love and I get it to an extent. But yeah, I mean, I would want as many eyeballs as I can. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, that's all good. This fight's not as good, but I know exactly what they're doing. They got an 18-year-old that they, trying to build into a star. Chris
understand as well.
36 or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, the thing about Rosas is he's an elite BJJ guy and really just kind of decent everywhere else. I guess maybe he's a good wrestler. I can't even remember seeing like an actual striking exchange with him. He's just doing anything he can to get a back, get a takedown. Yeah, he's good, I guess. Man, I think we'll know.
I mean, he's
I think
all right,
we'll know,
I guess.
So I think we'll know how this fight goes pretty well just by even the first few minutes. Like if he's struggling to get these takedowns, I think Christian Rodriguez is going to beat the shit out of him.
Sure.
Pretty easily too. So I don't really, there's nothing about his wrestling that impressed me. He's just 18 and moves like a reckless, wild, like 18-year-old kid that, like has their ADD untreated. He's just a wild man like that. So, and Rodriguez, I look at as much more, he's also young, much more well-rounded. I was impressed at least early on when he fought the much bigger JSP, how he was able to get up. He was able to get out of some of that stuff. I mean, Rosas isn't going to be anywhere close to that size. This guy's essentially fresh off the contender series. He's 18 years old. Rodriguez, they got about the same amount of fights. Rodriguez has actually fought some better people. I'm going to take another dog shot here. It's like my 5th in a row.
Love it.
It's not just because his name is Christian, but I actually think he can do this. If he can stop takedowns early, literally, I think he pieces them up like Chase Hooper style. And you're going to see like, oh shit, this guy is just a specialist.
I agree with you. Listen, I'm not taking Christian. I'm taking Rosas Jr. But there was a big pause on me on this fight. This kid keeps getting these balloon numbers. They're going to keep giving him these shiny -2, -3, whatever. They're trying to match him up well. And I wanted to lean Christian Rodriguez. The problem is it's 3 fights in the UFC, 1 in the contender series, 2 in the actual UFC. He's given up 10 takedowns. You got to fix that. This kid, when he gets you down, man, he's relentless. He's good. That's his only way to victory. His stand up is shit, right? And listen, I'm going to root for the guy because he's uglier than goddamn all get out. I hope he's got an absolute hammer in his pants, right? But I root for him because he needs this. Because I bet he got picked on when he's a kid, but he's a fucking, he's a badass. And 100%, as much as I love Chris, I understand why this guy's on pay-per-view. 18 years old, they want to sell him up. He fought in the UFC at 17. There's going to be a day where I fade this kid and I fade this kid hard because the wheels will fall off, at some point. He's definitely not going undefeated. He's definitely not going to break John Jones's record. I don't see that kind of quality out of him. But I do think with the 10 takedowns that Rodriguez has given up so far, I think Rosas Jr. will get some takedowns. I don't know if he's going to finish or not, but give me Rosas Jr. Timbo, what do you got, bub?
Yeah, I'm with you. And I learned the hard way because Jay Perrin, despite his 0-3 record in the UFC, Jay Perrin's not a scrub. Shout out to fucking Roadhouse, which was like one of the main interactions I had with Brian probably 3 or 4 years ago now. I won probably one of the first MMA Takes t-shirts because the trivia question was, do you still play that at the end of the year?
I don't know. Another podcast, I wish I could remember off the top of my head, they made me my own outro coming off the end, like a lot of shout outs from John Anik, which is dope. But yeah, I used to play the very end of my podcast was the soundbite from Roadhouse where his name.
Hey, why don't you get her down from there?
Yeah. Hey, come on, buddy. Why don't you get her down from there? Yeah. It's when you see Swayze fucking just destroy a guy for the first time. And he goes like, get him out of here. And the blind singer goes, his name is Dalton. Great movie, man. Yeah, that's true. Timbo got it.
Went off the rails there a little bit, but so Jay Perrin was in the Roadhouse movie for those who don't know. But fighting Jake Gyllenhaal. But yeah, so I had taken Jay Perrin against Christian Rodriguez and got humbly informed that Christian Rodriguez is not just an 18-year-old punk kid that didn't earn his way here.
Rosas Jr. is the 18. You keep saying Rodriguez.
Excuse me.
Rosas yeah, there you go. Just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah, Christian Rodriguez, he's fighting. Excuse me. So yeah, Rosas Jr., 18-year-old kid. I got humbled by him fighting in his fight against Jay Perrin. I'm with Brian. I think that eventually, this train stops, but not against Christian Rodriguez. Again, the 10 takedowns he's given up in his last 3 fights, very concerning. If Rojas gets you in that position, he's going to probably take your neck from your shoulders. So I like Rojas to get a submission win here.
Nice.
But I mean, safe money line play either way.
Nice. I love it. Yeah, I love it. It's a. I feel like there's going to be 2 things to this fight, right? Is I feel like it could be a dud because Christian Rodriguez could get taken down and just play it safe. And then I know Rojas doesn't want to play on the feet. I hope for the MMA community and the UFC sake that Rosas Jr. goes out there and he looks like the star and he says, "I'm buying my mom another minivan," like he did in December. I just got a gut feeling this fight might kind of stink up the joint a little bit, but I don't know. Next fight won't stink up the joint. Kevin Holland minus 250 versus Santiago Ponzinibbio plus 210. Again, this line's moving like crazy. Timbo, you elegantly left off last time. We'll go with you this time. To me, this was a pretty tough fight to pick, right? This was definitely a number play for me. Interesting fight between both guys here. What you think?
I'm a big Kevin Holland believer.
Yeah.
When he fights the way he's supposed to fight, like he didn't have to get beat the shit out of Stephen Thompson like the way he did. He taken him down, he had him down, and obviously they had some the verbal agreement or whatever. We're not going to do that, and I respect that, But at the same time, like I'd actually broken down it beautifully that Stephen Thompson is going to whoop his ass because Stephen Thompson is a way different elite level of striking than most welterweights. Period. But Ponzinibbio is pretty fucking good too. I'm not gonna lie. He's getting a little long in the tooth, 36 years old. I'm not impressed by him knocking out Alex Morono. I don't think Alex Morono is good. He's very slow. Just got kind of sneaky power and good head movement, but not high on him. I am high on Kevin Holland though. I think he's got legit power, legit striking. He can hold his own. I don't see this being a grappling match at all. I don't see it getting there, but I think Kevin Holland gets a finish here. I'm really big on Kevin Holland this week. I don't even know what the line is, but I'm definitely fucking hammering it.
Minus 250, Kevin Holland. Again, it's dipping, like money's coming. It's 2-way action for sure, but I have it as minus 250. He's probably still in the 200 range, obviously. Christian, you got it pulled up right now in front of your face at all?
Yep, I got it. It's DraftKings isn't up yet, but minus 250 to the best one's bet online at minus 236, which
236. Yeah, it's moving up and down. Great breakdown. Listen, this was a tough fight for me because I looked through a card and I go, I can't play all chalk. Obviously, I got my boy Curtis at a dog money, but is it really a dog money? I picked Sam Page, but who gives a fuck? I wanted a dog here, right? And Ponzi's a guy who I've never really rode. I've always been like, I felt like he maybe was a little overrated, especially when he was injured. He had like a 6-fight win streak and he was injured and he came back after being off forever and then got knocked out by the Leech, who I think is very high level there. Yes. World class Leech.
Highest level.
The highest of the levels. But no, Ponzi has got so much heart and toughness. And the one thing about Kevin Holland is I think he's a killer. He's a finisher, right? He's good everywhere. This is going to be a stand-up fight. I think Ponzinibbio's takedown offense is too good. I don't think Kevin Holland's going to want to wrestle. He's long. He's deadly. He's got that frame, that puncher's frame that we see. I mean, he's built like a smaller Pereira. These longer guys, they just got the leverage. They can pop. Problem is, I just think Kevin Holland's a little inconsistent. He wins all these fights in a row and he takes them a short notice. And then, now it's just like he's fought the highest of level guys, but it's like, you're right. The fight IQ, the machismo might not match up sometimes. The problem I have with Ponzinibbio is I'm taking Ponzinibbio, not to bury the lead, taking him as a dog shot here. Plus 210 is too good of a number, but I think it's going to be Ponzinibbio needing kind of a miracle. Because if you watch the Morono fight, who I don't think is a good fighter either, who I think is very mid, as we established, all of us in our 30s, we can say mid. He put Ponzinibbio on skates a few times and had a rally and knock him out in that 3rd round. I was there live and I'm like, what is going on? Because I had Ponzinibbio in one of my, I think it was in a slime ball parlay, and he was getting knocked around. He kept getting hurt, and chin has been an issue. He's been knocked out 3 times in his career. He's been rocked many other times. But for something, Kevin Holland, he feels like he's getting distracted with getting in with Masvidal, and he's He retired after the Chimaev fight. There's a confidence thing. There's a consistency thing. And when you're hanging plus 210 on me against a guy who can get it done, this is a number play. I like to see Holland win. I think Holland's better for the division, but I'm going to go Ponzinibbio here. Not going to lock him up or anything, but this is going to be a dog play for me.
Hello? Okay, this is dog.
Yeah, that's a
You
dog.
betting that?
Am I betting that? You want to bet it with me?
Oh, I would love to bet it with you.
Nah, I can't bet this one. Not this one. I'm not that confident. I will bet it. I will. When I got a little bit of a gut feeling on a dog at plus 210, I'll put like a half shekel on it. I'm not going to go crazy, but yeah, I will bet it for sure.
All right, you want some action?
I want some action.
Is open, baby.
Hey, I do have a bet with. I don't know if he's still in the chat. We'll get to it the next fight. I do have a bet outside of one of our bets here. Holland, Bahamondes, and Yanez parlay at plus 183. Tatum Temple bringing out the parlays. Yeah, Ponzi didn't look good coming off his layoff. Not sure Holland's the guy who starts to look good against. Good point there, Justin Chuinam. Am I saying that right? Chuinam? Either way, it's a cool fucking last name, dude. Christian, the floor is yours.
Yeah. Look, I think
I'm interested to hear this.
He's looked like an absolute shell of himself since he came back. I can't remember what he had. He had something like Jeff Neal, like some sort of sepsis or he had bone infection.
Yeah, he had like a blood infection or something. It was something, yeah. Just remember Jeff Neal had pneumonia and almost died, and I was out of the hospital the next day. So just fucking remember who's tougher than Jeff Neal. You know what I mean?
I didn't even get pneumonia. That's how tough I am.
Check that out. Check that out. That's tougher than all of us. Tougher than all of us, babe.
I did. I just didn't know it.
I look back. Yeah, exactly. Look, if I remember that Morono fight correctly, he was this close. If he didn't finish that fight, he was going to lose that fight.
100%. He was getting knocked all around. Yeah.
So he landed a bunch of strikes. Like the numbers kind of lie in that. Like he was getting his ass beat for 12 and a half minutes or whatever it was. I remember because I had money on Morono, and so I didn't get it. Yeah. So he had to eke that one out, and then. Obviously, the Leech absolutely crushed him like the Leech does. And then his only real convincing win was against Miguel Baeza, whose chin just disappeared. All the talent in the world. But if he doesn't get you, you get him out of there.
Yeah, no chin.
I don't know how you could trust that, especially like I wouldn't want to put even half a unit on that. Holland's got the more versatile skill set. Like he did lose a striking battle to Stephen Thompson, but almost anybody would. Even 40
everyone does.
Thompson. It's just what he does.
Yeah.
He could have won that fight. You know, he
broke his hand.
Yeah. I know that fight wasn't that long ago, but
well, that's the thing too. So is his hand good? Because that's a quick turnaround.
He's saying it's not.
He didn't need surgery. So what they do is, as a guy who's broken his hand a number of times. Again, I'm not comparing myself to an athlete. If you don't need surgery, basically what they tell you to do is rest for 3 weeks, and then you got to strengthen the bones. So you got to get a cast on, take the cast off, and then you squeeze sand. Squeeze rice, squeeze whatever to strengthen the bones. So he might have been doing that, but his hands still, there's no fucking way it's 100%. He'll probably break it again, right? I mean, shit. But, you know, he's that guy. He wants to fight. He likes getting paychecks.
I
that's my
saw
only
the chat
concern with this fight.
What's up with the chat?
Go ahead, CC.
I just saw the chat. A long-time listeners, Jeannie, I'm guessing that's Jeannie Douglas and Jane Smith up there. What's up?
Jane Smith, Jeannie Douglas, Jeannie.
Yeah.
This is a day one right here. Jeannie, Holland.
Redemption. Shout out, Jeannie.
And check this out from Justin. You're one of 3 people to ever pronounce my last name right without me telling them. See that, Christian? I can pronounce last names, you son of a bitch.
You pronounce it like 6 different ways.
Well, I got one of the 6, pal. All right, Christian. So you're going Kevin Holland here. You're putting your nuts in a table.
The hardest fighter to bet in the UFC, but I'm going to ride with them. And I like him as much as Timbo here. He's going to be the centerpiece of the greaseball parlay.
Ooh, grease parlay. Follow Christian on Twitter at @PlayBeasy.
I never post it though.
Tweet it out, babe. We want to see it. We need it. All right, next up, Rob Font plus 155 versus Adrian Yanez minus 180. I'll lead here. I love this fight. I have a side bet with John Patrt, friends of the show. John was in the chat. He loves Rob Font. He says, "Hey man, Rob Font at dog money. I love it." I said, "Okay, put your money up." Put your money up because I'm on Yanez. I love Adrian Yanez. He's been my golden goose since the Contender Series. I think this kid's got pop. So he was reluctant. He goes, and then he goes, you know what? Fuck it. Nuts on the table. Let's go. There he is right there. Huge Rob Font guy. John Friend's in on it. So we went 20. If Rob Font wins, I pay him 40 because he's the dog. That's the kind of way. But listen, this is a classic boxing style fight, right? A lot of pundits, a lot of smart people, Michael Bisping, people who break down fights, think that it'd be smart if Font wrestles because Font's finishes in UFC come from grappling. He's got good submissions. He's big for the class. Yanez hasn't been testing that. His losses outside the UFC come from grapplers. I don't know how good Rob Font's wrestling is. I don't know how good his takedowns are, whatever. Yanez does have some pretty good takedown defense, what I have seen. The only hiccup I've seen of Yanez is he starts a little slow, and Rob Font is a volume guy. So this is just classic volume versus power. They both have perfect technique. Yanez is going to find his shots, and Rob Font's going to overwhelm him in volume. Like, this is what he did with Cheeto. Problem is, Rob Font, I know he took a year off, but he's been taking so many beatings in his last few fights. But he's fighting studs, but just so many beatings. I am a little surprised by the line. I thought this would be a little bit closer. I know a lot of people love Yanez like I do. I just think Yanez is going to catch him. I think Rob Font is going to get knocked out. It's never been knocked out. So I like the knockout price here. And then slime ball candidate number 3, Adrian Yanez. Christian, we'll hear what you got to say about this fight because this is a banger. This is a fucking banger.
It is a fantastic fight. Notes wise, my God, I thought you were reading my paper through the computer somehow because I am in like almost complete agreement. I'm
in your brain.
It's hard to trust the guy that's been knocked down 5 times in his last 2 fights. That is a lot. There's a lot of times to be knocked down in the UFC. And I mean, they were nasty every time he got knocked down. Rob, he does have great output. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage though, at least not anymore. He seems to have become pillow fisted over his recent run. Again, this is against some of the best fighters in the division, and really in this division, some of the best fighters in the world.
But I will point out, if you can't knock out Cody Garbrandt and you're a boxer, what are we doing here? In 5 rounds too? I know he won, but you ain't knock him out? Come on. Yeah. Pillows, man. You got fucking pillows.
He does. Look, it's time for a changing of the guard. Yanez, I guess he said his name is Yanez, which is going to be really tough to switch to.
Yeah.
But I'm going to stick with Yanez. I'm going to stick with Yanez for now.
Same.
My read was so similar to yours. I have it even written down. I'm going to bet this after round 1. I love Yanez in this fight, but I'm almost sure Rob Font's going to win the first one, which sucks in a 3-round fight because you really can't give it up. So I think you might be able to get a plus number or something damn near even. I do expect Yanez to come on with that power. He touches people. I mean, he throws huge combinations, body, head, like all over the place. So I think that's going to really start to wear on Rob Font. Rob Font wears damage horribly. And he's going to get damaged. So yeah, give me Yanez as well. Slime forever.
I love it. That's a good breakdown because I love the after the one play. Because I mean, you look at Randy Costa, who was a 1-round fighter. He pieced up Yanez in that first round, busted his nose up. Loved the corner from Yanez, and I loved him. Like he was like licking his blood. He went out and finished Costa in the second round, but he tends to drop the first round. Like Davey Grant jumped on him. That was his only close fight in the UFC. Was David Grant, the only fight that went to a decision. David Grant jumped on him pretty early. So after the first round, you could be fishing for a better number. I like that. I like that read there, CC. All right, Timbo, we're going to close out the Yanez show or excuse me. Or are you going to shit the party, bud?
I'm shitting the party. But what was the line on this?
Rob Font plus 155, Yanez minus 180. So you're going dog hunting, right?
I'm going dog hunting, man. I just think you can't. Here's what I think. And this may play a same factor in Chris Curtis' fight. Who knows? But starting off slow, like if that's what you do, that's what you do. If that's what you're comfortable doing, that's what you're comfortable doing. When you try to switch out of that and switch your style up, that's when you can fuck things up. 3-round fights, you can't afford to lose round 1, especially with these judges. So this is another one I'm kind of leaning maybe a Rob Font split decision or even a Yanez split decision. I don't see either of these guys getting finished. Rob Font's getting a little older in the tooth. He's 35, but he could take punches. He's been knocked down 5 times, but he hasn't been knocked out.
Never been knocked out.
So I'm liking a little split decision play here. These judges have really been fucking
bad
here the past couple of weeks.
And they're in Florida.
Number there.
historically, if you look at Florida judges, it's up there with Texas. It's up there with New York. They haven't been Miami since UFC 42, Rich Franklin's debut. They've been to Florida. They just haven't been to Miami. So that's a good thing right there with the judges too, because you drop round one, the judges might just be like, oh, well, he won round one. He probably won round two. That's what they do.
We got a guy who one guy will most likely win round one. It's probably more likely that Yanez wins round three. It really is a good read on that split decision on this one.
It's a great, that's why I do this podcast with you guys. You're sharps. Yeah. I think it's going to end by a knockout. I do think Yanez has that kind of power. I mean, I'm not confident. If it's a decent plus number, I'll definitely play that, because Rob Font is, tougher than a $2 steak, tougher than, we can just go again with the whole Southern slang. That's a great read there for the dog shot. Come on, Tim. Rob Font has been punching back for his last 2-3. Tatum Temple calling you out, bro.
His opponents have been too, though. His opponents have been too, more so than him if we're counting significant strikes. You can say what you want about the Cheetah Vera fight.
Rob Font just didn't have that zip, just having that fucking power. It's pillows. All right, we got co-main event Gilbert Burns minus 490 versus Jorge Masvidal plus 390. Timbo, we'll go you. I don't know if you're a Masvidal fan. No, I don't think you are. You're a Diaz guy. I don't think you side with Masvidal because of the whole BMF thing. But all I got to say about this fight is I think the line is wide, in my opinion. Some people think Burns is an absolute lock. We'll see. What do you think?
I don't think Burns is absolute lock by any means. Masvidal KO at plus 700 is fucking juicy, and I'll be putting some money on it. Probably not much, but at plus 700, you ain't got to fucking have a nice night. $20 about 140.
Yep.
I love Masvidal. I don't care about the Diaz thing. Diaz is old news, out with the old, in with the pretty much same, just as old, but he's still in the UFC. Masvidal has he got starched by Usman. Yeah, we saw that, and then he got outpaced and out wrestled by Colby. Like, everyone in this division is going to also have the same thing happen to them, except for Leon Edwards, maybe. Gilbert got starched by Usman as well. Granted, he landed some good shots against him, but he didn't do enough. Gilbert's chin has been he's getting put down by jabs, granted from Khamzat, but Masvidal can crack, man. We've seen it. We've seen him finish. His last 5 wins have been by finish. I think there's a lot of crazy money on Burns, and I don't see it. The main thing is Gilbert. Masvidal has good takedown defense. I think Gilbert's going to try to go that route, because if he doesn't, then this is a coin flip, in my opinion. And when you give me that on a not plus 700 for KO, but ultimately, if Masvidal wins, it's going to be by KO. But what was Masvidal's line? Sorry, plus 3?
Plus 390, and this line's moving as well. Plus 390.
Yeah, I got to take
almost a 4-1.
I got to take that number. I got to take that number. I'm rocking with Masvidal this weekend, man. I fucking love to do Jorge his energy.
Masvidal.
Give it to me.
Yep. Christian, what we got? Co-main event.
This is just like a betting tip, though. So this has been happening on pay-per-views, and I think it's because you get a lot more casual interest on them than our normal ones, but not as many casual fans are on. These numbers explode in the 5, during walkouts and on. If you got a minus 500, they'll close at minus 700. It's fucking crazy how the lines move. So if you I would wait on that Masvidal line until it's, because people will chalk especially on a card like this with minus 200s, minus 500s. People are going to make chalk parlays, and
they want to make it their money back.
If you like dogs, I would just wait until they're walking out, and that's when you place your singles at least. So that would be something I think most of us have seen, but just to bring it up. Okay, so Masvidal, I think he's looked really regressed. Again, this is against really high level competition, and I guess the way those guys fight, they could make anybody look regressed. Obviously, the knockout kind of was unexpected against Usman, but I'm not sure that Usman and Burns' power are much different. I don't see why. Everybody talks that only Masvidal could knock him out. I don't see why Burns couldn't knock him out too. I know Masvidal's the better striker. I don't know if he's the more powerful striker, though. In terms of getting him to the ground, obviously, Masvidal's tough to get down. It's historically always been that way, and he's pretty good at getting up. The weird thing about Burns is he can kind of control this fight and not let Masvidal hit him. By If he can't get the takedown, he's really good at pushing people up against the cage and just playing that stall game until he can either go for another takedown or separate, and then probably go for another takedown. His top control,
like sniffing crotch, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah,
yes, or sniffing armpits against the cage.
Yeah,
sniffing armpits.
So yeah, I think. Look, Burns fights a lot differently than these other guys. Like, he'll try and pick people up and throw them down. Like, like do a lot more trips than takedowns. Weird shit like that. And I think he can actually stay on top if he gets there. Again, I'm thinking Masvidal's regressed, and I think Burns can get him down. I got to take Burns. I thought this line would be wide, and we talked about it months ago. I was like, nah, it should be minus 500. The closer it gets, I'm like, there's no way that it should be anywhere near this. I don't think it's a pick 'em, but I think maybe minus 180 to minus 200 is what I have Burns at. So I'm going to pick him. I don't even know if I'll parlay him at this line because that seems stupid. I think the Masvidal knockout bet, or whatever this fight is to end by knockout, I'll probably play that.
Yeah. For the record, I just got a tweet that the Anakin Florian show, the show we did for the Pick'ems, is premiering right now. So I picked Burns on the Pick'em because I'm losing to Kenny. Spoiler alert. First you heard it here first. Kenny picked Masvidal.
Oh,
I wanted to pick Masvidal.
Flo.
Ken Flo picked Masvidal. Broke it down beautifully like Ken Flo does. I was going to take Masvidal because, the point system, the way we set it up, I'm behind. You
should always be taking dogs in that. You should be taking so many dogs in that system.
I mean, when you're a 4-1 dog, you have to. I mean, it's the way it's set up. And I don't think Masvidal should be a 4-1 dog. I've been following Jorge Masvidal's career since the backyard. I've seen every single one of his fights, and I can say to you, the first Usman fight was on like a week's notice. Cut 1 million pounds of weight, lost a really bad decision, whatever. The second Usman fight, that was the worst I've ever seen him look. I don't know what he was doing. His stand-up looked terrible. Hands were down. He's like, oh, I was expecting him to wrestle more. Yeah, but why wouldn't you still got taken down, and then you got pieced up on the feet, right? Like, his boxing is so good. He's so explosive. If you go back and watch the Cowboy fight, you go back and watch the Darren Till fight, it's combinations that set everything up. The Colby fight, he's pot shot, and Colby one shot. He dropped him later in the fight, but I was after he's already gassed out, and Colby's a different kind of fighter with that different mentality. He pitter-pats, takedown, pitter-pats, take. It is what it is. Training with Johnny Eblin, training with Bo Nickel, the wrestling's there. I think he had the silk sheet mentality. This is a guy who's a journeyman his whole career, made enough money to get by, made enough money to pay for his kids and stuff. And then after the Askren knockout and the Diaz, all of a sudden we got a couple M's in the bank account. We got a couple multiple M's in the bank account. That's hard to do. That's why I have so much respect for Floyd Mayweather, because regardless of what you think about that guy, he never fell off after he become a multi-millionaire. He always worked hard. Never once did he gas out in a fight. Masvidal, I feel like, had the silk sheets, but now we're coming back to Miami. This is Mr. 305. You got to imagine he is the best he's ever been. The one thing I don't like is in MMA, capping, whatever, pull up the stats. Anytime a fighter starts talking about retirement, if I lose this guy, I'm retiring. They fucking lose. Why say it? Why do that? And Masvidal has said that. If I can't beat Gilbert, I might as well be done. What are you doing, right? This is how crazy MMA is. If he loses the Burns, he might retire. If he wins, he might get a title shot. You know what I mean? Because of him and Leon's beef. This is the way this world works. So in our system, I'm rocking Masvidal. I like Masvidal. That was my early lean. I think his takedown offense will be better than it's ever been. I think if he's in shape and he throws his hands like he normally should, I think he can hurt Burns. Burns has been knocked out before. Burns has been dropped multiple times. Been knocked out 3 times, been dropped multiple times. Burns is relentless. He looked flawless against Neil Magny. He looked flawless against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. But Masvidal's only been submitted one time his entire MMA career. And that was a reverse triangle by Toby Yamada a million years ago in Bellator. Masvidal's decent. He can get taken down, but he's not going to get submitted. And you're right. I think if anybody wins this fight, knockout or decision double chance is the best play for this, right? How will the fight end? By knockout or decision? I don't think anyone's getting submitted. I think that's the way it ends. I think that's a great play. I think someone said in the chat as well, 100%. I think this is going to, the line is way off in this fight. I think we're going to quickly realize early on, Burns might have a good first round, maybe even get a couple takedowns, but I really, truly think Masvidal's got that magic. Sometimes he does have that touch. We're in Miami, which could be a curse, but I feel like Masvidal gets up for this stuff. Give me Masvidal. at this huge dog number. If he was minus 115 and we're looking at a pick 'em, I'm going Gilbert Burns because I think Gilbert Burns has a little bit more juice right now. And we've seen him look great, and we haven't seen Masvidal look great. But when you're hanging almost 4-1 on me, you gotta go Masvidal. All right, next up, main event, Izzy Adesanya minus 140 versus Alex Pereira plus 120. Surprised that Izzy's the favorite, if I'm being honest with you. Izzy's 0-3 against this guy. You guys know I love Izzy. I am terrified of this fight for Izzy. I don't like how quick he's taking it, but that's kind of what he does. He kind of says, fuck you to everyone doubting me. I'm just going to go ahead and take this monster on again. We'll go Christian for the main event first. I love this fight. I love all three of their fights. I think this is high-level striking, which gets my dick hard. Christian, break it down, babe.
Yeah, I thought Mr. 305 was Pitbull. Is that Jorge Masvidal?
Yes, it is.
If you ever name Pitbull on this podcast again, you're out of here, pal. Okay, you're out.
Mr. Worldwide.
Hold on. Hang on a second. You guys don't watch many Bengals games, but maybe there's a good chance you've seen this. Have you ever seen like the bearded Bengal fan? He's got a beard down here.
I do watch a lot of
Bengals. He dyes it. He dyes it orange or black. The camera always finds him. Sometimes he ties beers into his thing. That's a buddy of mine. That guy works at UPS. He first got the drive, he's a driver at UPS. When he first got the driving job, we used to work up front together. He went to my wedding. When he first got the driving job at UPS, we weren't allowed having facial hair. So he shaved his head and shaved his beard, and he looked exactly like Pitbull. We called him Mr. 305. I mean, it was uncanny. I got to pull up a wedding photo. Like, he's dancing in their wedding, like one of our wedding photos. And I'm like, dude, that's Pitbull came to our wedding. It's unbelievable. All right, Christian, go ahead. Break it down for me.
Yeah. All right. The dynamic in this fight, it feels so weird breaking this down right after the Usman Leon fight because it feels like so similar. You got I thought a shoe-in favorite, a longtime champ, cruising to a victory, and then gets knocked out right at the end, gets victory stolen, or defeat from the jaws of victory.
There he is.
I picked Andres Mikulidis against Michelle Pereira. I don't know.
You have faded Pereira a lot, yeah. You're faded quite a bit.
And I paid for it. Well, I'm going to go back to the fade right here. This is you might as well just clip my breakdown from Usman Edwards. I'm going to take the guy that's won almost every minute they've been fighting. I know that obviously Izzy's been knocked out twice, but I believe that Pereira's got saved by the bell now at least once in each sport, I believe. I think the first round of their last fight, and then I've only watched like small parts of the kickboxing matches. Oh, what's up, Ash Jack?
Hey, do y'all see that emoji? Because I can't see the emoji.
It looks like a camel.
It looks like, hold on. I thought it was
a dog from Masvidal.
Dog.
A big Masvidal fan. She thinks she's
Masvidal. It's a dog. Yeah. I thought she was telling you to go walk your fucking dog. Like, wrap up. The dog needs walking.
I bet she must like the way Drake looks too then.
Oh,
hey,
she loves
so
the way Drake looks.
Yeah.
Listen, that's not a bad. My friends who don't know you watch this show casually. They go, first off, that dude's black. Second off, he's related to Drake. I'm like, I swear he's not. I swear he's not. They're convinced. Like, I gotta meet him. All right, Chris, I'm so sorry for stepping on your breakdown. I agree with everything you're saying. Close it home here, bud.
Yep. I think Izzy's almost finished it. Pereira has finished it, but I think Izzy has just as good of a chance to finish it. He's won more of the minutes. I think the line is fine. I should probably be a little bit closer, but I think Izzy's the better fighter, and I'm going to take him again, and I'll probably regret that, just like I did a couple weeks ago. So give me Izzy.
Timbo, what do you think about this?
I'm going with Izzy as well. One, I'm just a fan, but I think Pereira is fucking what? Taking Izzy?
Yeah, I thought you would go Pereira for sure. I thought I knew your gambling style. That's why it surprises me.
Yeah, I mean, one, there's a fanboy in me that I just want to see Izzy get it done. Two, so he was talking at one of the press conferences today, and he kind of gave it away. And he said, however it happens when I get him on his back. And then he like kind of paused when he said that. And he said, or however it happens. I was like, okay, because if you remember in the first UFC fight, he grappled Pereira and fucking manhandled him. He was beating the shit out of him. I think he can really go back to that well. And because I mean, Pereira is not an MMA fighter. Dude's a kickboxer. He's not an MMA fighter.
Mhm.
But he's a really good fucking kickboxer. So, you know, his skills with that can outweigh his poor wrestling. But I think as he showed in the first fight, he can get him down. I think he'll definitely mix it in. It's not like he's going to be crotch sniffing the entire time, but you know, if he maybe gets uncomfortable for a set, I think he's confident that he can shoot a takedown and get him down to the ground. I like Izzy probably by decision. Probably some good money on that. Maybe definitely at least plus 200. But yeah, I think Izzy gets it done, man. Just like in any sport, it's hard to beat somebody fucking 4 times. It's hard to beat somebody 3 times. And you know, Izzy was winning that first fight up until the 5th round. You know, I think you learn from your mistakes. So give me Izzy here. I like I'm gonna be betting Izzy pretty fucking big this weekend.
Nice. Yeah, this is the only Izzy fight I've always rode with Izzy. I was one of the not the few, excuse me. I love new talent, and I've been wrong about a lot of guys. I mean, you guys could throw Max Roscoff in my face all day long, right? I've been wrong about a lot of guys, but I remember watching Izzy outside before he came in, and I'm like, holy shit, like this dude is something here, right? Like this dude is good, and then he came to the UFC and whatever. So I'm an Izzy guy, right? I love Izzy. This fight throws a big pause at me, right? Because even though I agree with everything you guys said, I think Izzy is the better fighter. He arguably won the first kickboxing match that went to a decision, right? Bad judging. He was winning the second kickboxing fight, hurt Pereira, got knocked out. Was winning, only dropped 1 round, dropped the second round to Pereira in their first fight, almost knocked him out in the first round. If there's only 5 more seconds left, and then obviously grappled him in that 3rd round, which was beautiful. Izzy's kind of dropped some hits. Now, Izzy's a goofy guy, right? He likes to play mind games. He said at the press conference, and then an interview asked him, it wasn't at the press conference, it was a video I saw. An interview goes, hey, Pereira had Chuck Liddell in his camp. Who would you bring into your camp? And he goes, oh, probably DC because of, I'm not going to say anymore. Like DC because of the wrestling, right? Izzy doesn't have the best wrestling in the world. The grappling wasn't great, but if you watch that 3rd round, I've seen the fight 4 times now. He took him down, he rode him, he handcuffed him, and he beat the shit out of him. He had landed a lot of strikes. In that 4th round, Pereira came out slow, took it off, took the 4th round off. Izzy clinch grappled, played a little safe himself. But that fucking Thanos gauntlet, the finger snap that fucking Pereira has is so scary that it's like, how can you not be worried about that? And it's so soon. And some fighters just have other fighters' number. What's crazy is everyone thinks Izzy's corny. Izzy said, and he is a little corny, but he said something today. He goes, the only reason he's the champ is because of me. Because he got a title shot because of me, and he matches up best with me. Imagine if, like, Robert Whittaker goes in there and wrestle fucks Pereira, right? Robert Whittaker is a pretty good offensive wrestler. Or if you got Hamzat Chimaev at 85, Pereira would lose these fights. He's not stable in the ground yet.
Vittori would wipe the floor with them.
Right. That's what I mean. But he matches up so well with Izzy. That's why, to me, it's like crazy. Like, if he beats Izzy, and he's fucking massive, you got to go up to 205. Fight Jamal Hill is not going to take you down.
Yeah.
Fight Giri Prochazka, he's not going to take you down. I mean, Pereira could end his career at heavyweight for all I know. With that being said, I'm going to go rock with Izzy. I'm not putting a lot of shekels on it. My biggest loss ever has been Izzy over Jan Blachowicz. That still stings. So I've learned my lesson there, and this fight does throw some pause. But I like Izzy. I like Izzy by decision. I think he's going to grapple, and I think it's going to be a fairly even close fight. But that fucking gauntlet of Thanos, man, I'm scared. All right, Timbo, you're the champ, babe. So you get to pick mortal, dog, or send them first. Whatever you want. Read your board. What you got, big dog?
Give me a send him home.
Ooh, send him home
and
first.
Give me Kevin Holland.
Wow. I'm opposite you, but I might have to play that. Rarely do we pick send him home first, and you went first, Kevin Holland. I had to fucking
very confident.
Stole my mortal from me too.
He stole your moves, bro? Damn. All right, Christian, give me your send him home, bub.
And I'm going to go with the only fighter on this card with 100% finish rate, Jacqueline Amorim.
Nice.
I love it.
Interesting.
I love it.
Nice little pick there. I mean, he definitely didn't steal my pick because I forgot she was even fighting. My send them home. I can't do Green Hammer because you can't double up there. Man, I had this all planned out. You know what? My send them home is gonna be the little snot-nosed kid, Rosas Jr. by submission. I think he's gonna grab a neck. I think he'll take it. Rosas Jr. All right, Christian, you got dog, you got mortal. What do you want?
I'll take mortal.
Okay, tell me, man.
Bahamondes.
Nice.
Oh, God, sexy.
Bahamondes. That's shit, wrong marker. I got you guys color code up. Wrong marker. That's your mortal lock, right? Ignacio Bahamondes. God, I'm gonna be dreaming about Ignacio tonight. Just the name, not even him. I mean, he's not a good looking dude, but just the fucking name. All right, Timbo. Actually, you know what? That's my mortal lock. I can't stay away from the guy. I keep looking at him. I'm gonna go Carl Williams here as my mortal lock. You never let your friends mortal lock fucking heavyweights, especially bad heavyweights. But I just broke all the rules in the book. Timbo, mortal lock, babe.
I'm fucking sticking to my guns, man. Give me Izzy.
Nice. I was hoping you did that because you were really confident when you broke that down. I like that. I like people sure of themselves. All right, my dog lock comes no surprise. It's Chris Curtis. I mean, slight dog money on him, but that's my guy. You're giving me a plus. I won. The biggest bet I've ever made was a G in Vegas on Chris over Buckley. And after that first round, I was like, oh shit, this trip just cost me a lot more money. But he fucking rebounded like he always does. So dog lock, Chris Curtis. Dog lock, CC. We'll go Christian.
Dang. I mean, I am way down on the card here. I'm going to take Steve Garcia as my dog lock. That's 2 of my points done in the first 2.
Bro, you picked fucking a lot of dogs. All right, Timbo, end the show with your dog lock, buddy.
Rob Font, baby.
Robbie Font. All
More
right.
action.
That was a fun judge's decision split. Take it to the house. Listen, sorry about the visual difficulties. Audio, you're not going to know there's any difference because the old audio is gone. But thank you for sticking with us with the whole YouTube link and stuff like that. I apologize. And boys, thank you for joining. I feel like, well, first off, I know this was a good show. Secondly, I feel like the strap's coming to Cincinnati, boys. I feel like I got it.
My precious.
Oh, I got mine somewhere over here. I love it. All right, boys. Thank you. Thank you for everyone listening. Thank you for everyone watching. You're the best. I like y'all.